I am Lord. I am sure that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor anything else in all creation would be able to separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus our Lord. Remember not the sin of my youth, but according to your mercy, think on me. None of us lives to himself, and none of us dies to himself. If we live to the Lord, and if we die to the Lord. So then, whether we live or whether we die, we are the Lord. Let us bow our heads as we pray. Heavenly Father, in your Son Jesus Christ, you have given us truth, faith, and sure hope. Help us to live as those who believe in the communion of saints, the forgiveness of sins, and the resurrection of eternal life. And strengthen this faith, O dear Lord, and hope in us all the days of our life. Through the love of your Son, Jesus Christ, our forgiven Redeemer. Father, we come to you in our grief, trusting in your love, particularly for Siseko and for ourselves. We know that death cannot separate us from your love in Jesus Christ, our Lord. Gracious Father, your Son Jesus Christ wept at the tomb of Lazarus. We believe that you shall share our grief and continue to sustain us in our time of grief. Holy Father, you gave your only Son that all who have faith in him may not die, but have eternal life. This is the faith of the church. This is our faith. Amen. Alleluia. We may be seated for me. Mandithatheke elithuba lokuba ndinamkele le nkonzo yokugqibela kaSiseko. Special welcome to ifamily kaSiseko. Sithemba uThixo ke ungumthombo wayo yonke into. You are most welcome in this church of All Saints as well as Holy Trinity. Feel free. My name is Ntshanga. Bolekwe apha ke bandikhoke ngamandla umoya wethu. Sakusebenzisana ke kule nkonzo. Kodwa ke mhlawumbi masiqale kulile yokuba at all material times, please keep your mask on. Please. If your mask is not with you now, make arrangements, please. Because remember, we're still under the scarf of COVID-19. So please. Secondly, we shall continue to maintain social distance. And above all, there are stations at the back and also there are mothers there that shall assist us to sanitize. So please, we shall adhere accordingly. At the back, we have our Mothers Union and church wardens. They will assist you if you need a restroom. And so please, quietly as we proceed, our service will be directed accordingly. Now we shall start with involved or ESP. So there is a change to come again. I don't think in terms of smile as our Kalake is many from Dagabo. Sunday, prepare your hearts for the ministry of the word. God forgive us to learn the way the Bungake. Now, Nikus for them at this juncture, shall we all stand as we sing together? Yes, when I was talking, one of the hands is a mom, so I think it's easy. The mama did that, as we started and kati Yesu wena ungumhlobo. Zibheke mina. One day. Yes, will be directly.
Yes.
Shall we stand?
Jesus.
Saporonge, Flobo, Salamani, Aronge Undu, Alabolena, Mussolina, Skalk nabantu kuthiwa housekeeping. Njengoko umfundisi ebeselitshile kuyacelwa ukuba xana singaphakathi endlini si-observe i-social distancing, sithi gqolo ukunxiba imask. Ndiyacelwa into yobana kangangoko sinakho sizame tofana singasondelani kakhulu kwenzela uba athi bayangena amajikita afike noko si-compliant. Kwakhona siyacela tofana kuyacelwa ukubana izithethi ezilapha kule program zincede zize apha ngaphambili kwezitulo zeground sibonayo apha emhlabeni. Kwenzela ukubana sizame ukuhlangabezana nemeko yexesha ngoba ndiyabona apha iprogramini ngokuba izithethi noko azimbalwa. Siza kuzicela ke nazo izithethi okokubana zizame tofana zingatyi ixesha elininzi. Ewe, apha sibhiyozela ubomi obuphilwe kakuhle besidima, sibhiyozela ngothando, ubudlelwane, kodwa ke ngenxa yexesha sikukwazi ukwalapha ixesha eli. Ndiyacela bezithethi okofana noko zizame zingatyi ixesha elininzi. Izindlu zangasese zingaphaya ngasemva, uphuma ngapha water straight, uphuma ngapha, turn right, left. Ndingatyanga ixesha sikhawuleze tofana sibize umnumzana ukugula noza kufunda le-obituary ninayo ezandleni zethu.
Siseko Ntshanga was born on the 1st of January 1966 in the small town of Grahamstown. He was the firstborn son of Ntshanga and Pindiwe Phyllis Ntshanga. Though born in Grahamstown, it would be in Port Elizabeth, now Uleqa, where he would establish his roots and go on to blossom. After his primary school years, Siseko went to Newell High School, where he would matriculate in 1987, and where he found his love for rugby. An open-side flanker with speed and agility, he was nicknamed Skalk. After the legendary Springbok, Eastern and Western Province lock forward, who ruled the roost in the late 70s and 80s. It was therefore unsurprising when in 1984, alongside teammates Lakonya and Ublade, he was one of a handful of players of his time and age to be promoted from the second to the first team of the prestigious Spring Rose Rugby Football Club. In 1988, he enrolled with the University of Cape Town, from where he would later obtain a bachelor's degree in bibliography, and after which he would go on to work for the Reed Education Trust, Paya Ezan's West Station, Kasenovoport. as a high school trainer and resource center manager. In 1996, uJola wazimanya ngeqhina lomtshato nomamkhomazi uZanele, intombi yakwaNolombe, neyamzalela oonyana ababini, uLuseko noAnele, abathandede kwafika imihla yokuhamba kwakhe kweli, bekunye nosisi wabo omkhulu noMampondomise. In 1999, the South African Reserve Bank headhunted and appointed him to the position of Assistant Branch Manager at their Durban offices. During his tenure, he went through a leadership program with the University of Manchester, where he obtained the honors in labor law from the Graduate Institute of Management and Technology. And in 2006, a master's in business administration, Poverty MBA, from the University of Wales. After 8 years, Siseko left the Central Bank to join the 2010 FIFA World Cup Local Organizing Committee, LOC, as a training, development, and compliance officer. There he was entrusted with such responsibilities as a security planning, adherence to government, legislation, and LOC service level acumen, drawing up operational plans, as well as managing stakeholder relations. At the end of his historic Soccer World Cup, Siseko went on to join the National Heritage Council as their heritage manager, a position he held until his untimely departure. Sithi abakuhle ke kaduka, Nuba, Ngengana, Oshoda, sithi abakuhle Mpondomise elikhulu. Wena Jola, wena Mfudulu, ukusizelwa umsebenzi emhlabeni owenzileyo. Ngentobeko, ngempumelelo, siyakuhlala sikukhumbula. Umama wakho uPhindiwe umshiya ngasemva, intombi yakho noMampondomise, onyana bakho uLuseko noAnele, abazukulwana, uLimamkele noAmanda, abanakwenu, uThando noBaba, nazo zonke izihlobo zakho nezalamane. Born from our sides, but never from our heads.
Sizawukweli lamatshitshi itulo 23 asizufulela ke zonke izitethi ezizangaphambili, kodwa samane singena sibambe ivesi ungena izitethi noba zimbini, siphinde sibambe enye ivesi izitethi noba zibini, njalo njalo ukonga ixesha. Isitethi ke sokuqala umnumzana uMthetheleli Miza oza kuthethela usapho.
the highly esteemed Reverend of the Anglican Church. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Siseko is my nephew. He is the firstborn child of my sister. He is the pride and joy of the Ntshanga family. My sister is Miss Ntshanga, near Nisa. But I must say that, ladies and gentlemen, last night I was uneasy. I tossed and turned in my sleep. One thought that was uppermost in my mind was my nephew, Siseko. Siseko was the hope and a role model to his siblings. Yeah, indeed, his siblings followed his example. He was a role model, and they did follow him. I must say that Siseko was born in Ntshanga, where my father was transferred by the church, Reverend L. to Ntshanga from BE. That's where my sister met Mr. Ntshanga and married him. I know Siseko as a baby. Even when I was a child, he was the most beautiful baby. With a great smile. Even as a child, I played with him. I squinted my eyes and I distorted my face, trying to play with him. And he laughed and laughed. And he talked in that baby language that I couldn't understand at the time. Siseko was a gentleman, highly disciplined, soft-spoken, and very courteous. I remember him. After graduating, he came to BE, and he worked for the municipality in charge of the libraries. One day, as I reported at work, I was called at the principal's office. Once I was there, one of my colleagues never thought I was there. We called each other and looked for me, he said. And the principal told us, gentlemen, Mr. Mirza, Mr. Tata, there is a visitor who's going to come to the school, a municipal officer in charge of the libraries. The lady teacher who was in charge of the libraries was away in a course in Pretoria. So this was laughable because we joked with neighbor that we know nothing about the library. So as we moved there, we were living there to participate, organize books, and so on and so on. And then there was a knock on the door. When I opened the door, it was Siseko. Then we talked for a bit, family business. But I noticed that he was uncomfortable. He was shifting and turning. He was delaying this process. until it became awkward. And then never intervened, called me, and I moved out. The problem is Siseko was very respectful. That was an awkward moment for him, because he was in a situation where he had to ask his uncle some questions. And he was uncomfortable with that. I sympathized with him. And I left to go to class and never handled the affair. After that, he came back to me, never showed me where I was. And he was uncomfortable. Siseko, you can describe in one word: respect. Highly disciplined, very courteous, a hard worker, a motivator, all in one. That was my name. Siseko ufunde anywhere high school. When he was there, one of the teachers was his uncle, my elder brother, Mr. Biwani. Over the years that he was there, under the tutelage of my brother, never even once did Mr. Biwani complain about Siseko. One day, I struck a conversation with my brother, and I asked him, how is your name today? And he said, in few words, perfect, highly disciplined, well-rounded young man with a great potential. That's what he said. As Siseko achieved, I knew that he would never do anything that's untoward, even if he achieved positions. Because he was surrounded by people with high moral values, principles, norms and standards. And we are proud of it. And up to this day, I am proud to call him my nephew. Siseko ngetasefunda anywhere. Your friends zakhe that he built while he was at New York High School is that they are still his friends up to this day. That shows loyalty, and also that shows good human relations as well. Siseko was a stoic, somebody who never would burden you with his problems. He was an independent person. I remember meeting him in Joburg. We were there in the house of his cousin, Peter. When we were there, he asked me, Malume, feeling now? And I told him, and he said, Malume, you must be tired because to get all the way from BE, your bus. And I looked at him, when have I not said your bus? He said, you're playing up upon him. And Kotoge, in his courteous manner. He said, you're playing up. We landed at O.R. Tambo and we drove to Victoria to fetch my sister. I was sitting over there. So Siseko was like that. He was a story and also a multifaceted young man. I never associated with Siseko with rugby. And later I heard that he was a good rugby player, playing for Springboks. Siseko loved his cousins. He was an amiable young man, likable, very charismatic. Siseko, I said, was all occasions of family. He liked family. And when I think I was a spectator, he would work very hard. I'm special as the program director. Siseko, I could say a lot, but I don't know exactly the program director here. I want to quote the statement made by Apostle Paul when he said, I quote, I have fought a good fight. I ran the race and finished it, and I have kept the faith. What can you ask for? For a man of Siseko's career? Kuyenzile yonke into ngexesha elifanelekileyo. If Siseko would occupy a position of power, I can assure you that he was a principled young man. He would never use his position to victimize those who are weak. He would never use his power to victimize the vulnerable. That was Siseko. And I knew wherever he was, he would uphold his name, his family, his surname, the Ntshanga family, and his mother's surname, the Miza family. Lala Mamu, Ngokotolo, Tumba, Gatuka, Podomise. May God Almighty merciful bless your soul.
Yes.
May his face shine upon you. I thank you.
Sibulele malume, akumenzelelanga umtshana wakho. That beautiful baby, ombone eyiyo, Siseko was beautiful till the end. It's out. Singamanga. Zobiza ke ngoku isiblings zakhe uthando nolikhaya athi umalume uSiseko eyi-role model.
Ndibulise kumfundisi, ndibulise ku-program director, ndibulise nakwibandla ngokubanzi ngeligama lenkosi ami. Inzima le ndawo ndibekwe kuyo kuba ndizawuthetha ngobhuti. Mna ndikhuliswe ngobhuti. Ndikhuliswe nguye ubhuti ebedlala i-road ngokutata kum. Ebesithetha xa sirongo. Besimhlonipha kakhulu. So I looked up to him. Even into ezininzi ezifana nemiculo, ubhuti ebewuthanda umculo kakhulu. Umculo endiwudlalayo namhlanje was inspired by ubhuti. Bendimamela umculo wakhe all the time. Ubhuti, as umalume besitsho isithi, ubhuti had a respect. Ngoku sibancinci singaka, he respected us.
thina ke sinenhlahla yokubana sikhulele kulomama sifumene i-foundation e-powerful omalume nabomakazi. Namhlanje siyakwazi ukufeyisana nobomi because of that. So Siseko was one of those people where you know he takes decision, and I'm not going to lie, he was stubborn. Sometimes he would say, but you know, you can't do this like this. So, I'm because of the pressure. So, the Huduluba, Gaduka, Alakotolo, Pumla Nova, Sautata Tinapo, Uyegekona. Abantwana bakho nabantwana bethu whenever benengxaki bazawuza kuthi bathi ekanye ndinale ngxaki we will assist at any time mandulele.
Okay, uthi ndithenge 300 rand ngicula kwimoto yonke, so yabona i-timing ethanda 3 weeks 4 weeks later ndikhala nomculo wakhe yakhethesa asika nonsense elithandile and that's right. Siseko was highly embedded in sports. And when I was playing soccer in my time, I used to tell everybody that I was taught by Siseko how to play soccer. I remember there was a place that I tried to look out to, I tried back all these days, like it was a CBC cabin. And teenage guy, he was a fairly educated chief. That's where we disagreed because of the curriculum. From there, that was to rugby. I get one man and Zulu rugby. I time the rugby, whatever he says is about rugby. And then after that, I'm going to golf. I check kind of screen is going to golf. Who was it in Hawaii? Someone is golf. Who was it? I was a golf. Now I've relocated to George. I get organ during this time with organs at the time of the church is the best courses in the country. Can you please play golf? Honestly, I will try, but they have to play golf. I try to check where I am. Without Chibuti, I'm a good. Yes, we always had debates, he always encouraged me. Siseko, the way he was telling me, there was a time I was going through some kind of match. Sanga was right. He was there for me everything. I remember one time that was a brother wake, and he fell up on the ground with some of the Sanga telling me that we trying to pass a theater. He was that kind of a person because he cared for us. It's a number of good things. Only about good things. I'm not going to go to I'm not going to go. I'm not going to do my opinion. Of having a legend who is achieved. I'm not going to but you don't know because I'm not going to pay some lunch. Or short, seat. Who will go to my party? Then you mean school cell to go to Dandy, school cell to Ginat, school cell to Pulu, Mam John. Say, I'm there of Plum. So in a small animal comes to play about
Skulala, which one? Gentlemen, a son that are earlier. Until we meet again. Excel. Kulelo, Obama, Elka Sabina Hotel, Nemibuzo ke yathola abazibuza yona ukubana ingaba mhlawumbi konke abayiboniswayo ngapha ngexesha kodwa bayacela kophezu konke ukuba abakhile sokuthanda ukuba kodwa abathandazayo awubangedo incedisa kodwa kwesisicelo ngoba kunezinto efanele uyazibuza imibuzo engapheli kube yindindi ungazokubanga ubheke nesihlobo ezokuxhasa ezisebenzisana nawe okhalela kuzo ubone abanazo sikhalekile September 15 ngoba sisonke sawuba ngedolo sincede sojola sithi Nkosi ophezu konke ncede abakhanyisela kwenzela ukuba bangayili okubana bangenathemba bezibuza izinto ezininzi singatyanga xesha sizabiza ke ngoku abantwana bakaSiseko ntombi yakhe namapolisa nabanakwabo uSiseko noAnne.
Firstly, because I know these are important for to this, I would like to thank whom who sent their heartfelt messages and condolences this week, be it through text messages, personal visits, calls, any other form of gesture. It's highly appreciated. These messages have comforted us through a very difficult time, and I know that I'm going to be going through all of them again in future, looking for that strength and comfort again. Though we haven't been able to respond to all of them, I know that throughout the course of the spoken. So I will not be very long, nor will I be very loud. So if you please bear with me in that regard. My client city that was soft-spoken and a little bit on the quieter side verbally. It doesn't mean that he was not expressive. I know that I'll use an example that as I think that's a common theme as well. When my dad used to come home every Sunday, I used to cook for him like a nice meal, dessert, okay. So about the time so I get that for that, okay. You ask, this general piece, how are you? Fine, whatever. I'll bring that nice one meal, and then they will sit together for about 10 minutes. And then after that 10 minutes, I'll ask, okay, look at that. So challenging and it will always be one of two responses. Response one would be that he will give you a whole list, a play-by-play, whole-by-whole of what is done throughout the course that day. His own personal performance, the environmental factors, the whole calling that they could get by. Organic, there was the second one. You take a slow pause and wait. I was like, that was always where our conversations would go on Sundays. But I know when he came to his work, he was almost the same way, especially in the former. Whenever he used to travel, both locally and internationally, he would always come back and tell me of his trips. Very systematic, very informed, very well thought out, play by play, hole by hole, if you will. This is what he was doing at that time. Even here, the day-to-day working operations, he would tell me the same thing. And this would be the case for any discussion socially, politically, economically, his hobbies as well. He was very attentive to whatever he did, even if he had a very casual nature. So with him, you just have to be very careful with how you speak with him, because I knew that people go, okay, Dad, how do you do 1, 2, 3? Key word here being how. Then it's not going to be a quick 2-minute explanation. It's going to be a 50-minute verbal dissertation. But I'm very valuable, so I'm appreciative of it. These expressions were documented to that. Like many fathers and sons, we didn't share many hugs and kisses or I love yous or anything of that nature. But with him, you don't have to guess those things. You know from him. I remember the call as well. Last year, we were having a couple of problems, medically speaking, at one of the upturns of COVID. And she wasn't very well. And I know with that I would phone you very often. You would call all the time, offer both medical and emotional support every day. In the face of a litany of problems that he had himself health-wise. I chose not to speak on that because I know that he himself did not speak on that, even when he was there. I remember the cries that he would have with his brothers and the phone calls and messages to them. I remember the back and forth he would have with his daughter, but how the love that they would share in person. I remember the way my father would avail himself to his grandchildren, his nieces, his nephews, every time he had an opportunity to do it that was necessary or whatever they needed at that time. I have a few stories as it relates to the relationship he has with his friends, and the stories I've had this week have cemented this point further. As for my brother and I, these things, it doesn't feel momentary for us. because from the minute that we entered this world till the minute he departed, we were always under his nose. Due to work commitments in the earlier life, I put it all together to about 2.5 years of being apart. And I would be very bold in saying that we did not speak for in a total more than about 10 days. And 10 days is being quite liberal with that. It's quite difficult again to highlight these moments that we've collected for us over a quarter century together, over this little eulogy that I have to do now. We could start all the way from when Dad used to take, thorns from underneath our feet as boys, to now debating and discussing more scholarly things at the moment. But again, I can assure you that these memories and experiences are safe with us. To conclude, this feeling of loss should be familiar to all of us. For me personally, all my life, I've walked in unison with my dad. So now it feels as though it's kind of like walking with your shadow. And then one day you look at the sky and it's all sunny, but you find the shadow not there. So it feels like that. And you sit and you consider, especially this week, what were the things you would discuss with your father in 5 years' time, 10 years' time? I'll never be able to talk about my children, or marriage, or work advancements, or anything of that nature. But at the end of the day, springtime isn't great because it lasts. He taught me what it means to be humane, to be diligent, to be respectful, to be disciplined, to be honest, and to be loyal amongst many other things. Dada, you can rest now. The job is done. The blight in this life will not follow you into the next. I'm sure plenty of reward will be there for your brothers and father for you to enjoy. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. I'm Nomako Nomisa. As my brother had said, we're not people of many words. So what I decided to do is I just captured 3 poems that I thought put all our feelings together. The first one goes as this. We little knew that this morning God was going to call your name. In life we loved you dearly, in death we do the same. It broke our hearts to lose you. You did not go alone, for part of us went with you the day God called you home. You left us peaceful memories. Your love is still our guide. And though we cannot see you, you are always on our side. Our family chain is broken and nothing seems the same. But as God calls us one by one, the chain will link again. Then I just have something for my brothers. You can shed tears that he is gone, or you can smile because he has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that he'll come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that he has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see him, or you can be full of the love you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday for you. You can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember him and only that he is gone, or you can cherish his memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what he'd want. Smile, open your eyes, love, and go on. And then lastly, Dada, each day you strived to live, your body too weak to be, your love will live forever. since your heart has set you free. Now you walk so bravely, you feel the pain no more. Angels have come to guide you and bring you to heaven's door. Memories will hold so dearly. Your smile warmed our hearts. And through our lives you live, you've touched so many parts. Hard days will be before us. It's all a part of God's plan. Why you left so soon, we may never understand. You'll be alone no longer. You tell us, don't be sad. Please believe you were no burden. We'll always love you, Dad. Our lives have changed forever since the day you passed away. In heaven, you'll be waiting to meet us someday. Thank you. It is some slides that our youngest brother prepared that puts all our memories together. As the service goes on, when he manages to connect, you can see what he's put together for that. Thank you.
Sibulele koJola, umzala kaSiseko. And as I was listening to them, the dynamism, few words, dry sense of humor, quite forced. Ixesha lithathwe masihlabele mgama sabiza ke ngoku uMr Kwezi Mpumlwana for the National Heritage Council apho uJola ebexela ngakhona. National Heritage Council, and young Barbara, the CEO, no Slano, Nepalese, even Jim Ozao, Pegisa, Amazwi, Ambali. I couldn't learn and order me a tailor, but equal exam is Koyo, CEO, and the immediate colleagues, Mr. Ntshanga, Skalk, other people are shy. We could not all come. The National Heritage Council exists to try and have a world where the Africans are proud of their African heritage. And Mr. Ntshanga was a prime leader in that way. So, sijuniwe ukuba sikhathi ukuba siwele esikwaziyo ngomsebenzi nobomi le-impact yakhe, ukuba sizame ukuphucula inhlungu enkulu. Kusekuyinxalenye yefemini yase-NMC nale vision beyikhetha. Sonke sikhathazekile ngokuhamba kwakhe, sonke sixabisile igalelo alenzile. Lo msebenzi wethu zihlale zikujulwa zisetyenziswa ekuzameni ihlabathi elinqobo. Umqinisekisa amacebo esi-Afrika neendlela zokwenza ezizalwe amandla ziyinxalenye yokulungisa ihlabathi jikelele. Nokuba sifikelele kwimeko ukuthi izizukulwana nezizukulwana zingalibali ngokwezisombululo esinazo kwingxaki ezijongene nolunje. So, if we're a memory organization, it should be that one of the tests of our success will be that the memory of his work and his memory will be able to continue across generations. Siseko wafika we-Heritage Council ngo-2011. Wakumlawuli kwi-department ekuthiwa yi-Heritage ehamba-ke yabizwa ngokuba yi-Living Heritage. Ebenodokta neengcali nooprofesa ezincedisana naye okanye ezikwazi kwakhe. Uprofesa Ngetyana is part of the team esebenza incedisa umsebenzi owenza. So, as much as ukwama kwakhe kusikhumbuza the fragility of life and the duty to use the time, borrowed time traditions, making a difference with kindness, truth, and lasting. So that also could be repeated. Abantu bakwazi ukuthi njengoba besitsho you've ran the race, you've kept the faith, you've fought the good fight. So when I was voted, ahambe kakuhle ukaduka modernist. Kwento zokungena sibonile noma i-confronted the pains and the difficulty of the fragility of human life, the suffering, disease, and the difficulties sometimes caused by human beings, sometimes caused by circumstances outside. You did it with a smile, with gentleness, with firmness, and with respect, and with truth. After for NXC, but part of what he was doing, he was working with Ingos, Nature League. But sometimes are their communities, every sentence are not and we are all the example of the laws that is checked. That's in the changing dynamics of the national. Part of the programs that we have that many people got to experience on TV and social media in real life, Ubuntu Awards, that's how it started. You are able to partner in a Kumbuli War. And when you're the lega, we are the number, what we call the shield. Given a lot of definition of wound, this philosophy that some of us know from Makai and those guys, this should be part of national policy. It should be part of guiding decision making and how things happen. So it's part of the people foresight to say this should influence. And that's what I was talking about. Is the local super over Africa, in the name of super in the future and one. So the Ubuntu program, which had then culminated now the ownership awards that recognize people who put progress their projects as a contribution to the better community. The Siseko awards was one to one. Different policies is a whole man as a beloved. As implement well, necessarily in life, but he cannot see any of this. This is a research. We have to be in charge of research away and you examine the panel of responsibility. We have to schools outreach program, making sure that I know one person's professing as a teaching schools, working with who almost without no, Sismatanato, Waila. We were getting to different schools and so the next generation knows the things that Jesus was explaining to us and others. The minister of finance, he integrated with his work in ways that are not very easy for many others, and sometimes not even some mothers be able to do what he did. In his interactions with colleagues, he made them feel warmness in the manner he engaged to throw his points home, and a very interesting individual of Christian English. Talking about the Muslim where you discover my moment. The head of our core business who could not come, who was down, he
members of the his friend with also speak, friend guest, and everybody else in a different way. And as much as so many organizations in the world, but we work nationally and internationally, and he has been part of it. We served with him in the management executive under the leadership of Siseko. Him in the chair saying, hey, this man was a man of his truth. And things that he did not actually, he did not wait for the corridor. Guys, I know that you want this thing said, but I'm going to say it because I've got children that I've said before, and I have to stand for this group. I don't know why I'm here, but I have to say it. And then they would say it. I don't say it gently, but in an answer. And I know that these colleagues also deal with the thing that we say that I say. It was not easy to persuade him. But when you have persuaded him, or when it has been decided, it will not change this, he will be a reliable advocate. So it was helpful. He was consistent in upholding what he believed was legal and right and just. And sometimes that doesn't always end with popularity. And he was professional. He knew how to give public praise and private review. None of us would know about Okabel because that is the issue of whatever they were deciding about. Of course, you will realize from who is here and from who has been part of the preparations, he had a very interesting relationship with people of power. Because his work required him to interact with ministers and deputy ministers, but some were his friends, and ambassadors and this and that. But it didn't name drop, and you would not know until you know, unless you know. And it never worked for his unfair advantage. It only opened doors for those who did not have. So we're really grateful for people like that. And lastly, we have said we are also required and we've chosen and asked to be part of Tutuza Land. So it is your say to Ntshanga here to be all and as people live on this motor path, when someone gives us, this is Kumatela and who and it's a dilemma, there is love in holding, and there is also love in letting go. Happiness can only exist in accepting that our categories are in another world where we will also go. It isn't a different way. And I think other things help us to make sure that when the time comes to us, we're in the right standing with our Maker. And these moments of reminder of our mortalities are those kinds of moments. The day we fear, the meaning to Quebec, is also the meaning, it's not fear, there's no color where Obumba. And one of the was, it's a lot of Lawyer, Ruben Petro. It was actually in the corner state of the way in this area. It was a man, so I said, the Petro to solve it. It was a better man.
Kakhulu mntakaMlungwane. Sivuselele singabanye singabahlobo bakaSiseko ababenethuba ngamaxesha athile okufumana ekwimeko naye ebengayithanda. Uthe xa usithi he was a man of truth, ebengavumi ngokuvunyiswa izinto ezininzi enizaziyo ke nina kwi-Heritage Council elihlangabezane nazo. Ezi zingamaxesha anzima ebomini bam, kodwa ke sizazukusa amanzi, kodwa umvuselele umntwana ngokuya kusitsho ndawazi amadaba lemoto apho emsebenzini kule minyaka idlulileyo, kodwa ndisabekile. Safe to say, indeed, it was a very courageous man. He spoke his truth. He feared no one. Sihlabele mgama, phambi kokuba ndibize ugqirha uMade, cela sikhangele okokuba laa mcimbi ude walunga na. Bakachola. But them, they are the original. Yes, my partner. Khandi. Banyeke. Abantu Sequoia or white. Cayman. Dr. Madden, so take down his clothes up.
Siseko, umfundo, ngibonise umfundisi, nginebonise umfundisi enkonzweni ngezitulo zenu. Ndisebenzise la phrase uDr. Mbethe ayithandayo ethi nganganensiba zayo. Ndibulise kwezifemeli ezimbini, ifemeli yakwaNtshanga, ifemeli yakwaMisa. ONtshanga nje basenivile iNtshanga, ifemeli yakwaMisa yona engamaqadi. Ndibulise kwindwendwe ezisuka kude, abantu abalapha ababalulekileyo, abantu uSiseko besebenza kunye nabo abasuka kwi-Heritage Council, abantu ebeyi-sport kunye nabo, abantu berasi, abantu begalufa, nabantu begalufa abasuka eRhawutini ababonileyo into yokokuba angeke kulunge into yoba le ndoda iye kwikhaya layo lokugqibela bengakhange bazokuqala nathi ekuswaneni. Asiyithathi kancinci into enyenzela umhlobo wethu. Ndizawucela mfundisi undiphe nje i-latitude, ndizawuba nayo ilanguage elokuthi mhlawumbi ingayifanelele intlanganiso. Poetic license kodwa ngazokwenza iproject kodwa ndifuna nje undivumele into yobana benayo laa language yaselutshini. Esinye isicelo ndifuna ukusenza, ndifuna la madoda athi ke uNtanaDlomo zii-origins zazonwapha ecaleni kwam mfundisi. Ndinezizathu ezibini ezazichaza waye ndicela kuzo. Ndiwachazele into yoba ndizawubabiza, hayi azazifaka amandla. Khawulezani ixesha lesikini. Nkosima, isizathu sokuba ndiwabize la madoda esokuqala sesokuba sinamayilo sonke. Ngoku ke ndifuna iqondakale into yoba xa ndiyabuduza, ndibuduza ndikhethwe ngabo, akho nto ispeshal ngam malunga nokwazi uSiseko, simazi ngokufanayo. And uba ngaba ndiyafinisha, uba ndibhase ndafinisha ndingaziza ngokubuka, uba ndiyaguduza indlela ndizawungena ngoba akho nto ispeshal endiyaziyo ngoSiseko uba ayaziyo. Isizathu sesibini sisingamayilo nje, yinto apha kweklipu yayichaza into yoba le ndoda sinayo apha namhlanje, uba ngaba bekho umsebenzi wokulila kunje, ibingasoze hesitate ibiza ngumskalk besibene apha and by the time isenzeka into yokuwa kwesihlobo sethu useko already sephantsi uyabhala siyazi ukuba eza chepe zabofokola so maqalise-ke ngibona ke into lizawuhlala abantwana idime ngoba nizawuvikwenye ngiseko kakuhle futhi ngoba bengibona beqalele because abantu sebethethe ngaphambi sebezithethile oseko yile ngoba ithethayo athi umalume akamezelelanga useko madiqalise useko sidibana naye ngo-1982 efika ke eNewell High School sidityaniswa ke ngumbhoxo nathi useko ngelaa xesha wayengunumber 8 sidlalele kwi-17 ndiyi-lock forward asimenzileli useko was good in rugby yena ke soon enough he got promoted wodlalela i-first team ngenxa yobugudu bakhe. Now ezi attributes ke besezichaziwe nguseko zokuba useko was soft spoken, useko was handsome. I'm sure izawuvela i-pictures ngibona ezi mina ezamuke ngasajimi ngenxa wonzakala edolweni. Useko was lean and mean. Useko was handsome. Useko was intelligent. Useko was patient. Now, careful is the tellers that can take another advantage. Everybody want to eat disclaimer. That's the one to again. I was prepared. I don't know, I didn't do that. Man, not to cause. The time I didn't do that, I didn't have one. This is a goal. Hey, food can be a talk. Was going to not see Papa and go to Siseko, okay, my brother said it was easy for him to get jobs. It was, and this only class was funny, lie. It was easy. Because I mean, he was handsome, he was intelligent, and soft spoken. Now, this is one is. So, one time, very talented, the function is a shine. What's it, John? You're crazy, why? Do not say because if you can't say yes, don't say no. So, ndikhomba ingathi ngasebenza kanti ndikhomba ikhona itshomi yethu uThami Mnandi beyisu rest in peace ndikhomba uThikazi asebenzisa yena because uThikazi likhona ilady wayelayinile but uyaloyika so ndithi kwethu uThikazi uSkalk Fundini umbona emhle lo enjena kwaba bantu is because utuna le phrase asifane sele phrase bakuyivuna Thikazi uyoyika naye ndithi okay mtshana mjona senze masibhaleta esinyengeza pha edeskini yakhe encwadini esilindele response yes ngamncedisa uThikazi seyisayibetha le letter sayibetha egrand ayifaka incwadi zayivuna uThikazi esalinda akayijonge ivune we yayi weekend ubuya ngomvulo yo yandihambela phaa kuThikazi
Utubhala ileta. Wathi. Kodwa lesikhathi ayisifani. Okay, because I mean, if you try okay, it cannot be. About at that time, I was a sharp horses. I was Skalk, later, I clever, what clever, this so, then, they said it's too bad. I mean, yellow boat was Panata. I put it so on. So, you know, see, in terms of one there. Here, it was again. My phone, I want to. Oh, you know that? What to Ntshanga? The guarantee, so, Siseko unejombezi njani abantu ebekuvela kuqaba abaqawukhusisi. But apart from that, Skalk also esikolweni njalo was very intelligent. Uyabona ke erugbyini ne ike senza sibona mos abantu berugby singendawo ngathi qhoko. So umalume benyanisile uMr Miza wayefundisa history ne. Yeah, so wayefundisa history by anyway. Mr. Miza was a gentleman with a good with words, you know. So when I say to rugby, Tina, as one, they are not playing rugby, but they are playing missiles. They're sitting missiles. So what used to happen is that the rugby is on Fridays, you see, and then Mr. Miza is going to give a report back on a Monday, you know. And he was good with words. Skalk literally giant law. Mr. Miza would give the accolades to uzaqhaza and dramatic those days. Uyakwazi ke naxa ethethayo and is good with words, so uzawuchaza ke ngoku abantu bebeperforma kakuhle ke erugbyini ke, and those days ke kwakhona ke ilook forward ebalasele ke uBlade, the late Blade Machaya, may so rest in peace. uBlade ke uBlade noSkalk were amongst the guys ke ezakusoko kuthethwa ngazo ke because they were scoring tries yonke lento neperformances zabo. Lento ke ngoku yenza banosisi ke ngoku bona besiza bazobukela irugby. Now imagine ke uSkalk unezi attributes, umhlapha ebusweni, umile kakhe, unefiziki, udlala le rugby, uthethwa ngaye nakwi-assembly. So nje yena into ayivilelekile kuye. And then ke uSkalk ufunda ke ngoku ku-standard 8 sasinetishala ke eyayifundisa i-physics very difficult kakhulu. And abantu abaninzi ke baqonda ubana and ngela xesha ku-standard 8 yayijesi kwakusenziwa yayi-external examination, so ufumana i-certificate abantu baqonda ubana umfundisi asiyiboni kahle lentela, and ngoku ngolu hlobo sizayitshona ke kusibayibaleka ke bokwenza ke ngokujeography. uSkalk except naye ngabanye bathi umfundisi nono wabaleka okwenza igeography, and he did so well. And kwakhona uMrs Mbengashe ke wayetisha igeography those days. uMrs Mbengashe kodwa ke kuba umyeni wayehamba ezosebenza ebuRhatu kufuneka naye alocate, and then uSkalk was left ke with the responsibility just fundela igeography half through standard 9 up to standard 10, and assist even the class le yakhe to understand and learn geography. uSkalk wapasa i-matric yakhe with symbol C, and there were 3 guys ezafumana lo which was a good aggregate symbol those days, uC, and omnye wabo yayinguLincoln Mali noSkalk, ikhona ke ichapter esithathu endilibalayo. So those were the 3 guys who passed very well ku-standard 10. uSkalk was there. uSkalk was intelligent. Asimenzileyo ukuthi le achievements zakhe ziyazichaza, and uSkalk always believed akho task too big for him. uSkalk believed he could do anything.
given any task Skalk believed he could do. Now, ndizawubaleka ke because andifuni ukukixesha kakhulu ininzi into esinayithetha kuSkalk bendiprepare ngoku sendisiyekile ndizawuzama nje ubamba phaa naphaa. Siseko ke uyithandile irugby because of his prowess. Ayekhona kamadoda ookhanti oosisanaka oblade olaqonya babesele bona bedlala already kwi-Springboks. So bamrekruta ke uSkalk odlalela i-Springboks uSkalk in no time kwi-Springboks wayesebedlala kwi-first team. So asimenzile ibanga ukuthi uSkalk was good in rugby, and also uSkalk developed an interest in rugby administration. And it turns out kodwa ke nayo it was not a good side kuye because but enza ufuna into yobana njengomvuka besetshile nakwi-National Heritage Council sibeke ingcako lokuqala kodwa ke i-Eastern Cape Rugby frustrating uSkalk, and it was one of the many reasons ezabantu into yobana makaqonde into yobana uyarelocate and to get himself out of the stresses that he was getting from the Eastern Province Rugby. I think rugby in the Eastern Cape missed out on his skills. Skalk, rugby as the Eastern Cape missed out on the managerial skills. Skalk, and I think rugby as the Eastern Cape, had it utilized Siseko and his talents, it would have been in a different place today. But now, Skalk, ngiyayikhumsha balosena nenkani utata fana nale ezinye ke lokho hayi right, but unenkani uyayedwa ne-timing awala timing hayo ndile-timing nina-timing. But uSkalk was always enjoying to have him. uSkalk, we developed a bond beyond friendship. Skalk to us was a brother. We shared all problems. We shared a lot with him. Skalk would do anything for all of us. He would give his time. I remember when he was doing his MBA, this coincided quickly, if you remember, with his MBA studies. Essentially, we Springboks Skalk is complaining, and Skalk wanted nothing that is in his hands by a failing shape. He always wanted Skalk to teach us. Skalk is a man of process. Skalk, we are planner everything. There's some shout as in the anniversary paper. So I'm not from the spontaneous man. Let's get to say, but he insisted, and he always got his way. Yeah. So Skalk then moved. He went on to UCT. Skalk always wanted to be a lawyer. He always wanted to be a lawyer. He standard 10. He registered at UCT, and then wanted to. But the problem was a passage. He couldn't get a bursary that could take him to law studies, and then he ended up getting a bursary for a library science, which is what he did. But Skalk was also registering, but in Bilo, when his wife interfered with him, because he registered for illegal studies still, but unfortunately, ill health got in the way and he couldn't achieve that. So I'm happy now to know about illegal studies. Yeah, that's very good. Because, we are going to live in dream better. Because that's what we want to do. And on top of that, I'm proud to know that the boy is doing excellently well at school. And I think a whole boy, what I go through and succeed, and what you want to do. And even better. Okay, so I think that the way they clash, it is in the Siseko. And as amaqithiqithi ke thina ke siwabhaqile ngenxa kaSeko nangoku uSeko organizing committee ye-football yayilapha sasihlala kwezaa ndawo zingcuncu phaya and there was a lot of izinto ke zaziqhubeka kodwa ke ndandisetshatile nangoko mfazi ndandingekho kuyo yonke lapha And I can't use a camera. No, I mean, I do want to say, Tina Siseko, we had a wonderful time. There was never an instance where, even if fights is there to be, if fights is there, we are human beings. Otherwise, it was never, I 25 days, no Skalk because they speak no, there was never such a thing. But I can't just stop talking without talking about the golf, Skalk, because it became a love of us now. Because we've decided, let's play golf, because golf, is like, let's spend 8 years if we're lucky. It's a sport that, sport because Umone at some point was the marketing manager at BMW, so he was organizing these golf tournaments, and he was always sad not to see it die. He has needs playing golf. It's just a gentleman, I come and play this thing that I'm tired of being aware of myself, go wherever, because I'm all by myself. No, come and play. Skalk was the first guy to take up that challenge, and then they recruited me. This is sport. My sister not shy, But in the end, I ended up training. I'm going with the park as P10, and I want nothing but golf. Now, as a champion, the champion that's for me, but I cannot, there's one duo that we always enjoyed. When it comes to golf, I go by two abantu who irritated to Skalk to the maximum. Who SS, I know. I was taking pictures of bunnies together, but they irritated each other to no end. But all it was in the fun of playing golf and so on. And that game we always enjoyed. Stoky fires. Because the woman they see on WhatsApp, there is a nice video SS told him Skalk, but unfortunately I don't know if it's going to be built, but it would have been nice because it captures nicely the kind of fun that we had in golf. But what I think I cannot end talking without the ladies and gentlemen who are Skalk. I think you say AK or the point. I think we've done a wonderful job. Now I'm becoming emotional now. You've done a wonderful job of looking after it. I think that you've done a wonderful job. I think you must understand Skalk hated what we put it. Yeah, he really hated what he had to put you through, We were constantly on the phone, and it's regret that you guys, a part of your life was spent looking after him. But I did it in a way, because it is therapeutic, to say yes. About our school. The fact that you managed to give Skalk medicine, you managed to care for him as you did. I'm sure also in your subconscious mind, you could see at some point that, my father is probably not coming back now. Even though we would have wished, despite what you are seeing in front of you, you would hope that things come back for the better. But the fact that I'm sure, I am convinced, the fact that you looked after Siseko as much as you have, that is going to help you heal the wound. Apologies, KJ, for my breakdown, but it really broke Siseko's heart. And I think in the last moments, he also now was saying, no, this is now too much. It was not only too much for him, he hated the fact that, when he looked into your eyes, voice, and now he could see the anguish and the pain you were going through. And I think I want, on behalf of these friends, thank you a great deal for what you have done for your father. I think it's just blessings for you. Elokugqibela ke shema nditsho man kumama kaSkalk mama ayibona ke amazwi othetha nayo hayi sizawayekela kumfundisi hayi mama sizawayekela kumfundisi what you've been through nozala is really I think noko nenkosi ngokumayenze ngenceba ibe ngecala no parent want to bury abantwana bakhe for you and I think that you are still standing means a lot. And I think Skalk really, the favorite people by Skalk has got moments where he would talk about Mama and the love he had for Mama and Kenyan would say, hey, Pastor, Tina Sabatano Mama. And I think Skalk really loved you unconditionally. Siseko, even when at the time, because Skalk was planning this, it was all the time. And I think that even when he got married in 1996 to Umama Oluse Uzanele, Indobi Abanolombe, Skalk, part of the great moments he had was when he got married. Oh, no, sorry. The first was the Usalo Bedobiaki. But unfortunately, as Skalk at the time, we were very young, and Skalk, it's one of his regrets that, as fathers, we always want to be close to our daughters, but the universe conspired, against a wonderful relationship that Skalk was hoping for you. And Skalk, it's one of his greatest regrets that you came too soon. I don't know, too soon in the sense of who is still young, Yeah, this is as matured as we would have liked at the time. So Skalk, the other moment of his elation really was when he got married. And Skalk planned everything to the T. Now we were just there for manpower. Otherwise, he planned on his own, and the marriage was a wonderful success, and it was a moment of elation for him. I think ndizawuphela apho mangeneni yexesha kuba ke ixesha lelutshaba kodwa ingesukuba ukuba sithi i-relationship yethu noSkalk iphele apho, but we tried to just capture the moments that we had with him, and we want to thank ifamily kaSkalk ngokuba niye nasiboleka ithuba kunye naye uSiseko. We appreciated every moment thina esesanayo noSiseko, asikhange sibe nayo noSiseko. uSiseko, we owe him a lot, and we will continue to be there. Abantwana bakaSiseko, whenever they need whatever little we can offer, we are here, whether emotional or otherwise. We are there to assist, and because this is what Siseko will also do to us. This is what Siseko has done for all other of our friends. So, ekugqibeleni ke mfundisi siyafuna ukutsho nje ukuba uSiseko thina siyamkhulula, simbonile egula, and our hearts are with the family, and we appreciated all the fun we had with him. Siyabuleka nje kusihlale phambili. Sibulele ukhokho
Cool. Now, Nike, the Mets, our metric, and the summer, Shelby March, from young, till the game. I'll go back. Smile at eyes. Women is. Mom, I asked what metric. Or age. So, andikwazi ke ukurekisha oogqirha babini ubuncinci bemena xana bethetha. Ndandidla ngoyiyekela kudumile Matheza lapho. Ayinguluntu onesibindi sokubolekisha wonke umntu. Ndaba yinyuwele wayinyo. Andiyazi kodwa, but ke thema ndiyibeke nje loo nto. Now outside of Lakho beniyibona ime apha, uSiseko was a social being. Philile nabantu abaninzi sonwabe sitye izinto ngezinto bemnandi. Uyenzile ke loo nto apha ekuhlaleni. Now inebright ke mos siyaqhuba phaya siqala izinto umntu afuna ufana nathi, ezinye ke zisuke kozakhela zizapha New Bright nje ufuna uba relevant uba sebalini banye sibanike honorary citizenship. It's okay, but ke siye sithi amaxesha funeka bayisebenzele loo nto. One of the beneficiaries ke zobubele bukaSkalk, la chap yakwamali uJP makaze khona ake athi bemabini athi bagilisa ke wena ukuba ngaba awuyeki uthetha bona iqala kunawelana bawuzenza la sokweni
Moreno mfundisi nebandla umolweni wefamily masiqale ngovokosigqibe undishiya ngebeyinge yeminye yeenyanga eziyi-3 qha siphelele apho ithi loo nto sityekese kunye sanakelwa kunye sikhese kunye buti please ndala ndayithetha loo nto kwaye okwesibini akuyotshomi yam itshomi yakho ngutata utshomi notata not nam apho andiyazi vele mayike isebenza njani ndibhekele okwala ndawe kagqirha. Let's take back. Picture this. During the year of our Lord, 1984, as abantu ababhadlileyo abambalwa abathathwe zitishara from KwaZakhe kwathiwa masizokufunda eNew Brighton, ambalwa zange siyo-aplayisha for isikolo sathathwa ngootishara sasiwa eTek ngenxa yesports nemfundo kuba sebadleni. Yaba yi-brain gain leyo for eNew Brighton, ise-brain gain nangoku ngoba wena funeka kubhadliwe kuye kubizwe abantu bakwaZakhe bazokubhadla apha nangoku ndizokwenza loo nto. Nkosi Ntshanga phambili. Kuba ke singabantu besport sibizwe ngenxa yesport from kwezontsundu sayokufunda ke eTek, siza kudlala le rugby sidlala ke thina ke cricket under iphiko lala Grootman Ncibes idimas phakama gila majola abantu bakhona phakama gila majola abantu bakhona ngokili yethu ya icricket nomkhulu wakhe uMenir siphethwe ke emva kokona umeya lo belapha uDenny Jordan sikhula sibhadile ke ngolo hlobo xa sifika apha eTek sizawudlalela rugby against New siyabaleka nobaleka ke thina ke siyabaleka like sigood esportini basically njengoba nibona ke we are not bad looking nesinxibo noko besisitsho njengoba senibona izinto zethu ke gqirha thina bezilunga msinyane apha esikolweni because senza yonke le nto kuthi ke xa kuzawudlala naleyiwele yeke laa nto ebesikwazi ukudibana ngayo sonke siyitimu yerugby yaseTek ukuqapukela inyuwele. We hated these people because they were better than us. If uzawufumana uSkalk as 8 men kukho ezaa noise makers kuthiwa ngooxhathi kubekho abantu okuthiwa ngoolatonya kubekho abantu okuthiwa ngooblade. Now you have to play against these people abadlala i-local rugby thina sesikolweni. Yes, we're good, ndiyabaleka kakhulu ndiwini so andikho kwabexholoxholo sesikrama andikho mali iyakwazi ishoti wabo uphuma uskoli kodwa ke ndiskoli nditrashi ndilapha kwitouchline ngasemzana nditshempe amapha ngasemzana kulaa nto yoba izinto zam bezilunga msinyane bendiphuma ke nodlwazana after every game umfuzi womqolo. Nathi ke sizawuhambiswa phaa emidini kuthiwe ubani kabani uskore itry, ubani kabani uskore itry. Zilunge ngolo hlobo izinto zethu esikolweni isinyane. OSkalk aba ngabantu ebesibaqaphela kakhulu because they were that good, you know. If you can get umntu oyi-8th man ofana lo mfana ophethe ibhola coming to you, now you have to look back, outline ngapha, try line lo ndim idefender yeteam nange champion yeza kum. Now you have to make a decision. The athlete yabaleka so uba nophukile apha isikolo sam sizakuluza an athlete because of eliqobethu lizayo lebhola, because this is all he does, yilekele bhola. I'm looking at other stuff, I'm playing cricket, ndiyabaleka. So bebekwazi ukugqishem kum wenza uyenza loo bhola ndiyisa uba ukugqithela umntwana kunina ibe agqitheke into koskora emva koko ke sokumevaketry baqabelise ukubeleka isinese kodwa now sikhula ke ngoku naloo rivalry noSkalk aba nabaxhadi badlalayo siyokudibana ke ngoku social. Ukhona umntu ebeke wathetha kababa wathi iitshomi zalo mfana zasesikolweni uye wakuba nazo ngoku sengake mdala. Ndiyayingqina loo nto. Zonke iitshomi zikaSkalk ziitshomi ebefunda nazo esikolweni. Umzekelo thina besisizirivals esikolweni, but we ended up being friends ngaphaya sesibadala. Ndiqhawuqhawule ke ndizakana ndikombe lo mfana ungandishi kakhulu. Sekuphelele kakhulu besikolo sekwavela nasemayunivesithi kuyaphangela sibadala. uJoblori unohambo oluya this is way before ixesha likaSisi. Unohambo oluya eKhimbe. Phaya eKhimbe kuhlala amanye amachivela amathathu. Ichivela lokuqala nguXelishe Bongani the late, ichivela lesibili ibe nguName Lungisa ndazi ukhona lapha. Elinye ichivela ibe yilantwana kuthiwa nguMatelesi uTips. Banendlu yabo ke phaa kuthiwa kuseDurban Street. eDurban Street ke ndizawuthi ke ngokwentetho ke ezawuba nabazali apha ngumzi wezintsizwa phaa esithi nathi xa Grita ngendlela. Kuyophambukela fast kumane ke okwabakebengwana. Siphele silala. Ngoba ke phaya noko indawo zokulala bezininzi. Kungekho umuntu omkhulu noko. Kubekekile ke izinto ke pha. Ikhaya libe ngelokhaya noko lishushu ke noko ngoba ke kuhlala amasoka. Kodwa ababheke kubo beyibe khona indlu elungisiweyo noko efomfom kuthiwa kwaBrasops kujenywa pha. So bekujenywa pha then ke abalungiselelweyo abanolwimi yokulala pha eDurban Street bakunyuka ke nee-2 bridges zabo yokulalwa pha. Esikhupha ngohlobo. Afike ke uSkalk kanti kunoba uhevile emtshatweni oluni afuna majita kuthiwa nokubapakasops. Afike ke uJobu. Kuhlala bapakasops ke sejokudlala umculo ke phela wena umculo ne-conference fund kufika ixesha loba bafuna ukugujwe kolala. Ezinye zalamatshivela caba ke izinto zazo bezilunga kakuhle esinaleni. Forte ezinye Boratek so funeka kubhekwa Boratek kukhangela ke amalungu ukuba kuza kujayivwa nawo phaa eDurban Street. So zithi ba ke ezinye bisesilungile zithi ke ezinye ezingalunganga ziya kukhangela ke kuloo Boratek. Omaqhelisi ke kuba besebeluza bebesesilungile bayokulala ke noko. Ukade ke kufuneka ngokuSkalk babheke ngapha ngaseBoratek ngoba ke into zabo zilunganga apha. Ndiyayizibula ke into yoba uSkalk ebekhala esikolweni because sithi abantu bebekhala esikolweni ndidlule apha bafikile ke phantsi kaBoratek bezokufumana ke izibele ngelishwa ke torho ezi zibele azalunga. Into zabo zangazilungi kuthi ba ke ngento yoba ke bengayithandi uba into zabo zingalunganga basifumanisa uba bengamkelekanga apha kulo msitho. Umsitho kwala besikolweni abamkelekanga apha uSkalk. Bathi ke bamane bephuma uSkalk bamane besebotweni bathi kulungisiwe apha kukumncona nje umncinci wecala legusha likhoyo apha qala ke ezawubraywa ke. Yes, abalungiselelweyo. To cut the long story short, umfundisi wam uSkalk affirmatively protold elaa time. Affirmatively protold elala bolithi kosta ebhutini yawo babuya bayinxalenye yale nto. Kodwa ku-odithwa no man besinecala ayikho icala. So le audit ikhombe kubo uba nini mana singabaziyo. uSkalk ke batsho no Lakonya no Xandi so into yabo yilantsi yamakomani bathembisa uba no we can take this outside. We can take this outside. Kuba ngabantwana besikolo ngabano batsho into yokuba hayi uxolweni ngokuphikola ke siyalikhulula torho mani. Bemkile ke bethukisa uba isidima sabo sinyasiwe uba babiswe icala legusha. Kodwa ke bathe bevuka uMaqhelisi ngomso yaba yilo brayi enkulu uMaqhelisi yeli cala legusha. Ngumfo ke beqhuba ngolo hlobo. Kukho ke laa nto ibithethwa ngooXhandi apha besayithetha ngaphandle naphakathi evekini. OoXhandi aba indlela le besiboninyanya ngayo eziteke baye baphula nale nobubrush babo bazi-roughneck. Roughneck kuzokuza xa ukhona into kuthiwa unification yokudlala abantu abamnyama nabelungu. Na abantu abamnyama xa udlale rugby nabelungu most irugby ayingomakhasi. It's a rough sport played by rough people who turned out to be roughnecks. Those were roughnecks. So as roughnecks xa into ingakhange ilunge kakuhle phaa ebaleni ooXhandi babeyithatha bayiselele phaa estendini kwi-chessroom. Ibe nguXhandi, ibe ngulalakonya, ibe ngulablade, ibe nguSkalk lo. Uba bekungumlungu abakhange bavale naye phaa ebaleni bambize kakuba bazancoma bazokulungisa laa nto yaphayetini bamfake emihlini bayokisa Ntshanga bambetha qha umlungu abantu bambetha qha umlungu abantu aba nalo siyayivakele nto ithela ngomalungu uba ebelilungisa ke andisukuyidinisa mthetho wawo kodwa ke ibeneikhaphaza lokuketha ethile lo mntu xa uzawuxhumana ke noxhanti uzawubeka nawe aphume lo lakhona andifuna utya ixesha lakho bawo noko libilile ibilizinto endiyithetha apha kodwa ke noko kuthiwa mandimembe nawo inkosi baba undishiya ke 3 months kunjalo nomakeke lo wa ndimthanda kodwa kunaye nomakeke lo inkosi baba
Ngosiflawa. Yep. Masana. Sizawubiza enguku ondesiko asisikhulubo sam kodwa kukho inyoba endicela okokubana ndiyivule ndize umfo okhe waphila noSiseko xeshikweni beseyunivesithi kuloo minyaka ke abantu abaninzi bawukhumbula ukuba okusithiwa every corner is a site of struggle. Abafundi beyunivesithi bebengadlali nje irugby bebengadlali nje ifootball nathi topana kwanomkhokhwane weuniversity zasinawo apha eklapha akuthiwa yivista yazi nezinto esingasizenza ukuqhubela phambili umzabalazo wenkululeko. I-South African Tertiary Institutions Sports Council yayenye yendawo apho abafundi babefunda udlala irugby kodwa ke ingalityalwanga idabi lomzabalazo. In fact liyinxalenye yedabi lomzabalazo. uSkalk ke kwitimu elizidlalela nasesikoleni anayekanga ukucinga ukubana sinedabi elikhulu elingaphezu kwamanye. Ndizawubiza ke uLuthando Myirha azothi qabaqaba ngaloo minyaka abephila bedlala irugby bengabantwana besikolo kodwa besedabini lomzabalazo amaxeshana.
Ndifuna ukubulisa okokuqala kwinkokheli zicala kuzo zonke iinkokheli zicala ngokulinganayo. Okwesibini ndibulise kuwe-program director ndingayilibalanga ifemeli yakaSkalk. Sifuna ukuthi ke ifemeli kaSkalk ayiyo yodwa elahlekileyo, silahlekelwe ngokulinganayo kodwa ke siyazazi into yoba inxeba linzulu. Thina asizuyifinisha ipain that the family feels. We can only imagine what the family feels. Bendicimba ke ngokuya umalume bethetha apha ufika kukaSkalk ufika kamalume eRhawutini esithi uSkalk malume inokudiniwe ingathi umalume khange ayigqibezele elandini uba ngabana njana inoba undibekele i-holy water apha. So uSkalk bemjonge ngamehlo athi malume ndinayo i-holy water apha but ke kuba ungathethi malume ndizayigcinela for enye imini. I met uSkalk in 1988 at the University of Cape Town. How I met uSkalk, there was a friend of mine by the name of Mike Brighton. At the time, Mike was the president of Siseko. Siseko was South African Tertiary Institution Sports Council, which was a non-racial sports movement operating at tertiary level. Now, uSkalk sihlala kwi-SA1 kwakusithiwa yiKilindini, but asazani. This day, ufika uMike apha kwi-room uthi, Fondini, nezidakini bathathu apha kule race yet anazani. There's a guy ethi isuka eBhayi and he wants to join iSadisco Rugby. Detained to this chap, I'm not going to entertain you. There is a black guy kule race ohlala kuyo by the name of Lutando Micha. Go and talk to him. Now, uSkalk uyafika apha sihlala kule race iwathi state athi sorry khuluma ndithunywe apha kuwe man. By the way, man, Siseko Ntshanga. Ndifuna ujoyina iSadisco man. And I'm also interested in joining the student movement. So why are you approaching me? No, I've been referred to you by the guy called Michael Knight, the late Michael Knight, who's the president of Siseko University. Okay, no, fine. Since then, we never lost the contact with Skalk. I took him through, but if you going to say with team, say yes, then no, I deny. Why are you choosing Siseko? Which you know, I'm playing in all the sport, you know. Up on the Sugar Corner, the Sugar in Bright Pie. I'm playing for the rules. So, the day no more in the student movement has established a non-racial sports wing. Then I called this is where I belong. Since that day, we have never lost the contact with Skalk. Skalk became very active with Siseko to a point where he became a captain with Siseko around the AUCT. Now, see, Skalk, what was happening at the time was that you find that Iraq is for the Kossas, Isoga is for the guys from the Transvaal, the Gauteng. Now, see, Skalk in our genesis for the because Sibamba is not a close at AUCT. This means that the upper says it's like Soga, Super Gauteng. Did you start? Myself to go to go up. So that myself staying every day, whether we are Ghana or not, because Siseko was a funding movement, if I were to put it that way, of Siseko. We encourage each and every day in the Wagabara, join any sports code. Even if you are Ghana or Ghana, but as long as you join sports code, your subscription AUCT will match you rand for rand. So which means therefore that if the student movement wants to have any activity, then we've got a funding wing of the student movement. So that was the mission in Siseko there. I'm not going to go into the personality of Skalk because everyone has been singing the same tune. Skalk was modest, he was intelligent, he was handsome, he made pinda and alone. I'm just going to focus on Skalk on Siseko. After establishing the Siseko Rugby, Skalk being the captain, there is something missing about Siseko. You know, we can't have only two boys quiet, even in soccer, rugby. Let's go further and organize themselves. Let's have Siseko netball. So that whenever I see rugby, we must have about who's encouraging Bangabana. More when they are soft voices, so encourage. So we did what we called door-to-door to Ntshanga, to each and every race, encouraging them to Bangabana. These guys have enjoyed Siseko, just for the sake of taking our struggle forward. Among the programs Skalk I was developed, I remember when I think when the church at the time was with the chapter. Now we have to link up with the 4th who want to come from the Siseko field. Each other for the increasing trial, but was discouraged. And from the Siseko field is one of the founder members, the National Sports Council. With AUCT Rugby said, in honor of the Siseko field, let's organize a Makengesi Siseko field tournament, F410. Because at the time, the Siseko field was facing increasing crime charges, increasing charges. Skalk was at the forefront of that. We arranged a trip to Alice. We met the Abu Richard, some of our comrades that we met there physically. Now, in netball, Nesoka were playing during the day. Iraqi was going to play 7 or 8 in the evening. Now, up to our netball, Wapaka about 5, 6, with the village at the netball. Ntshanga was separate. You put it, Mizotala blues, Nayas blues, I mistakenly yesterday. Hey, I need blues because most of the guys in blues, I think that shall be said to. Because I mistakenly, I need it. Since I visit up the province, Tina Siseko. On there to 7, one day will be where to our surprise, now we chat and spend a lot of food. We can't even chat from our side, we call the guy who never finished in fact, we are supposed to speak here, but because I was out of the so what Utobari is playing for the UCDP, Richard is playing for the Blues B. The very first ball, a Catholic Blues, young girl Utobari, Waiba, Utu Richard, Chinosia, and now Zindu is Utobari. One get in trouble is this win. Children about Utobari, of the stretch. The very first minute. I told you about in Gules of Wednesday. Now, would be where well, obviously, it was a walkover. I can't even remember the score. So, I'm just trying to highlight the role that Skalk played in criminal relations sport. See, the other transcendence is so good, but Skalk is straight, the man later here. She called the guys, I know the Matomela family is a rugby playing family. Did you start? Go and talk to Nopani because Ngamani bright, no too. Because Nopani was in there, I can't know in Baba. Now you look at the rugby. You have a is in the Baba, you will team, the Baba, City. So Skalk managed to grow UCT rugby to a level where that established, we were able to fund the student movement. Galoma was just highlighting the role that Skalk played in non-relations sport at the level. Power was advanced. If you go to the beginning, that's now Diane's Gucci Art and Makosa, the learning and whatever. I'm sure links in religion, each man in the police. Na lona umzimzi uzawudlula enkosi.
Sabulela Ntshanga. Sabiza ke ngoku abantu ebekufika nabo Skalk every weekend. Bethanda golf yakhe. Efukile seGauteng kuloo ndawo kuyo uhamba nale bheke legolf. Soqala Mr. Siseko ozawulandelwa nguDr. Mbethe from Ibayi Golf Club, ozawulandelwa nguMchoko Mtshali from International Golf Society. Ngalo
just 1 minute to have a family ecaleni kwalomkhuphi andibamdelata yayazi uba thina zintwendwe asibulwa bakubo abahlali balapha ndingatsalwa ngebhatyi apha uzawubaleka ngoba embarrassment andizibamthi mandimbulele uthando because the first paragraph yam it was going to be on Sunday school. Abafana beSunday school ijolile njena abandazi into ebangela loo nto bangadazi yile nto uba ndandingasocialize nabo, ndandisenza umsebenzi ekufuneka wenziwe ngawugqiba ndinyamalale ndiye kusapho lwam. There are 12 years between myself and this generation. You're Siseko. Okokuqala bethuna mandiqale kulaa ndawo aphile kuyo usempilo udoktar eyokubulela abantwana bakaSiseko, boys and nomampondomise. You've done too much for the age, but you've done very well. Nam mandaleke usumbulu kuyo age emkile nje utata wenu thina sikhona. Xa kukho into elixakileyo iinamba zethu ninazo. Qathi andikuthatha nto kuwe ntombelana, sesithethile usibonile engekho nje Siseko sikhona thina siwonyana bakho. Mandimbulele bethuna nomama wabantwana, ndithemba bonke abantwana beme apha bethetha ngoyise, ndabona uba sihle isizalo salomama osela abantwana, sihle isizalo somama osela abantwana. Listening and having listened to all praise, all the praises sung for Ukhudu, I personally have made peace with the loss of our brother. As Yevula, we are counting our blessings for having been associated with a person of this caliber. But having said that, I wish I could also say, Sikupe Manji, Sikupe. I've heard strange questions from the guys in Ntshanga going golf. About 3 people asked the question, why Siseko? Why Siseko? I couldn't ask what they know, but why I and no one else could answer that question. End of course, and detail is Sitya Esihle, Asihle. Sitya Esihle, Asihle. Nenkomo enqoba yintsengo ebheka wethu. Ndivumeleni ndithi sihle isizalo sentombi yasemaqithini, sihle isandla sayo sengqeqesho, umbele wayo omde akufekethwanga ngawo. Ewe kaloku inkomo enethunga isekelwa phantsi, isiseko sobomi akubanga ngamanga ukusifumana. Imfukamo, imfudumalo ziyazalana. Uthi uyabulela ngenkomo yokulunga, kaloku besixhutha kule nkomo engusiseko ngeemini zikaxakeka. Uboya bamava, uboya bokuzeka kadumsini, uboya benkcubeko nocoselelo, uboya bonqumo nentsini ezolileyo, uboya bentobeko nothando. Bakahambe uRhudu eyakhe indima uyilimile nolwakhe ugqatso ulufezile. Kaloku indoda yinto ehlala igoduke, kaloku indoda egodukayo iyanikelwa, kaloku indoda enosapho ayilibali ukubheka ngemva. Hamba ke Jola uqulethe wafumbatha loo minikelo uze ungasivuli isandla de ufike kwelamanyanga. Uyahlule ikalashishi kwininimba, kaloku ongenjenjalo uba sisimo setyuma. Siyayibulela nendlela bayile lapha, bekumnandi sikunye emhlabeni, bekumnandi sikunye egolfini. Xa silapha namhlanje simile nawo sisuka kwela Rhawuti, sityebile ngamava esiwafumane kuye, sityebile sisimilo esesifunde kuye. Enkosi bethuna Mzwamampondomise ngokusizalela unyana, enkosi Mamqadi ngokusizalela unyana, enkosi bantwana bami ngokusiboleka uyihlo. Enkosi kakhulu.
12 years ayodwa. Sibize ngoku Dr. Phakamisa Mbete. Sacela nje futhi i-members ze-Bike Club so thank you. Mandizibuse nanga lentsasa umfeni wethu Yesu Kristu. Thank you. I must say, ngithathe ithuba ndibulele Ntshanga family for giving the opportunity for us to pay our homage as well as our last respects to our fallen offer. Also, I would like to thank the club for having given me an opportunity to talk today. Also, I'd like, on behalf of the club, I'd like to express our sincere condolences. We're hoping that this big cloud that is descended upon the Ntshanga family will soon be lifted, and as possible, probably unyama olukhanya sithi kwanele lokho. Siseko was instrumental in terms of forming our club, given there is administrative skills, as has been alluded to by the other speakers. Golf sport, I must say, is the dumbest sport ever, purely because I think the only thing that you need to do is to make one repeated motion all the time until you perfect the technique. So I believe Ntshanga and all these other guys probably are overrated because they are playing on a sport. Game of golf, rather. As a club, I must say, we normally have our annual gatherings or annual pilgrimages where we descend upon a common destination and then we play. Normally, on those occasions, we go with our respective families to enjoy each other's company. On this occasion, I think we went to a smaller, and I must say, if you check, all the golf courses are hidden gems. You won't see it on the main road. We have to go across the mountain to be able to see. So on that weekend, we went there as a group, and naturally there's bragging rights amongst ourselves. So we put money on the table, and then we compete amongst ourselves. On that day, on that weekend, Skalk had a bragging rights because he took all the money. I was hoping that the picture would be there, but I didn't do that on that weekend. If police will allow me, but there is a mechanism, it changes the place for Siseko. You want to go, you'll be 21, verse 22. It's a workshop. It's a come over night, ube no toll. The logo, you're going to go blue lane. May so rest in eternal peace, I think.
Ngicela ukubana umuntu oqhuba imoto JVF 034. JVF 034. Umuntu ofuneka ekhawuleze aye esibhedlele kuthiwa ke le moto ime endleleni. Ngiyacela ukubana uyisuse. Car registration JVF 034, if you would please move your car. Okwesibini ngicela ukubana abantu drivers, has at least one of them adibane namagosa endlela abaphandle. The traffic cops are outside, so they just need to know the direction we're going to take to the for the procession oya emadlakeni. If omnye owakhulu abaqhuba he has anganceda adibane namagosa endlela abaphandle. Sihlawule mgama sawubiza ke ngoku from Ntshanga Golf Society. Jabulela kupana kusa Dr. Mbete kundikhulula nam ndadinwa ayeka loo nto legolf yenu mamsenze lwenye kokoke
Program Director Dr. Aba, team members at Nalitna Ziza. Ifamily yabanjana ndibulise ummelwane nama-relatives ndibulise ke ii-members zonke ze-Golf Society namanye ama-sport courts egameni lenkosi. Amen. It's a privilege and I'm humbled ukuthi idina leti ingicela ngizokhulumela la. I-society idina leti is based in Gauteng. And Siseko be member yethu nale. You know, sebethethile kakhulu ngedimina la Siseko angisenze ungena kakhulu kuyena kodwa I would like just to point out just maybe one few other things engikhumbula ngoSiseko. When I first met him at Val Grace before I joined Naledi, we were playing together and ngayibona lapho idimina. One of isn't as better was the character woman. Firstly, you have to be honest. And then umang I go honest, equal and also you have to be very temperament and you know, below 5 hours suspended and so my honor. Has never changed. He never threw up my tantrums. Abanye bakulahla amabheke emanzini akhumbuthise emanzini ayosha ibheke nefoni yakhe uma ngabe if he's playing badly. You know, and then the second thing that I observed with Siseko, Joel mentioned, Siseko, it was his walk. Wow, his walk. You know, there's no one last night, like Ericsson Hotel. I think Siseko is a gentle giant, you know. So, again, my hand, we call for it's equal to the, you know, but they are very particular about the fast play. And sometimes you get penalized, or we are slow, and then, you know, my walker, he walks like a running antelope, you know. When you do 7 meters of why? You know? I walk like a
a primary school principal, then into a second Hambagan, then into crossing the street. Yeah, he has never changed. You know, he was like that, and you must give him his time. So Siseko, you know, when he joined the Dinaledi, my leadership qualities are because very soon he was elected PSCO and he was a vice captain. As a vice captain, he will schedule monthly games, and he was very disciplined. We have monthly games, we have mid-year, we have year-end, we have UTS, and in my recollection, very few games of Siseko that he has missed. In fact, you know, only this year, due to ill health, that he has missed some few games. Siseko was selfless. I mean, Siseko, even though he was not at leadership position, but he will avail himself. And many times, Siseko would avail himself as a program director. And he was very eloquent, you know. And one thing he used to say, he was very particular about the Queen's language. So, yeah. Very particular. I mean, if the MC, but he was very, very particular in English. So I will remember him for that. Siseko liked fun. He really, you know, he lived his life. You know, it's difficult to moment because it's been called by God, and for a family there was you know, you cannot imagine the pain and Lagyo. But you know, I don't know when it's conservative, but if Ecclesiastes about 3, they talk about you know, Solomon says that there is time for everything. And you know, I noted two things that chapter. One was that the first time, the first season that is mentioned is birth and death. You get born and you die. That's the first one that's mentioned if you open the Bible. So it means all of us that now are born, we are going to die. It's a fact. The second one, that the time is mentioned 28 times. But during those 28 times, Solomon has never mentioned that there is time to quit. There is time to give up. So I say to your family, please, do not give up. I know the pain is, the grief is like wind. You can't see it, but you can feel it. You know, just a short story. I didn't know that I would be able to stand here in front of many people. January 23rd, Sunday morning, I lost my wife. Having known this woman for more than 40 years. He left his 3 beautiful sons, and I can see the daughter, the sons, and my sons have not recovered. And I thought the world just fell on top of me. I'm still mourning. But when I heard about Siseko's death, I was even more shattered because I know that every pain is different from each death is unique. Although I just experienced, I can feel that strength now. Because God is so faithful. He's so faithful. You know, in Numbers 23, verse 19, he says, he's not human. He doesn't lie. He will never change his plan. So at least you are guided. Even if you don't believe, it's because he loves you unconditionally. He's amazing God. So if you don't, he will love you unconditionally. So I'm saying to you, as a working society, we lost a giant. We lost a giant, and you know, he's irreplaceable. So I know we think it's special ambile. Ndiyabulela kakhulu kwinkokheli zami. Mina ngimunyane kwasebathenje angizokhulumela bonke laba leadership And Siseko, one thing, even because cinema competitive majors that I view, but here's one of them is Stars Championship. And few of us have won those majors, except, of course, Ntshanga, when he plays, it feels like he's acting. Everything becomes simple to you. And he has won many with this guy. Mina, I've won 0. 0. In fact, you know, one time I was playing at Lindawa, so I was so frustrated that I played so badly, and I'm talking to my colleagues of mine as Dalana, hey, you know, today I'm playing a terrible game of golf in my life. And look at me as, look at me, last week we had Carlo Dalico. Siseko, you gave it all. Now it's time to rest. You have earned your sleep, and on behalf of Idina Lady, may I say good night and goodbye. Thank you very much.
Mr. Charlie, the Satellite Naledi Golf Society, Siseko being Malaya out. So these are the state South Club. We are born as Uso, Skalk. We are Muslim Center, yes, pure awareness. Can't English as a strength side. Then, the English who was probably last. Leo Pichwa. Was a Magama or his Legano and the Condobana. So we took a simple song there. It's not sour bar. But it was testimony to who Siseko was. The people of Amazio, Alaminyaka, Spring Rose, the Beswele, even love, the Zama, who describe them. Italy, they are what was Nobunja, Mbake, Alaminyaka, for Itala, the light Spring Rose. So the Lagan Kulua, Zolaye, Zoteta, our coach.
You are all once.
Oh, Lotando, la Cotico. Program Director, Fundis Wam, where you are the soldier of the cross, you are Bulelo Alisu, Kabam, Abalapa Pambam, Spring Rose, the Kabbalah, Nabe Zinyitim, Zile, who go to fare the well, to Skalk, Ubantu, Abapuma, Bombozone, zale country yetu, friends Nagasana, Skalk, Abandwana, Bagaskalk, Umama, Kaskalk. Funa umbulisa ngegama likaYesu Kristu. Amen. I'm representing Spring Rose. That was established long ago, 115 years ago. It's the club who start why join I. They join in a purpose. The growth and development ebomini bakhe. Ebona Ntshanga ezikhoyo phakwa Spring Rose. Oba Schulz, Oba Jacobs, or Wilson John. No, Max John. About did you? If mana elo food. Pamkwakhe ke yayisithi olakhi mange ugeyila ungenele kuthi no Mr. Oliphant pha bangenele kuthi no Sisa bangenele kuthi igroup ke engenelele kuthi phaka Spring Rose. Lelo xesha ufika ka Skalk, I was the captain of Spring Rose ka first team. Bungafani udlale nje ku-first team ku-Spring Rose. Ngoba ke bekuzama ukukhangela umdlungu udlale ke pha nidlala nina ngexesha ilanga lisatshisa ngo-11 no-12 nibolekisane ngeegawusi yini kako ke nawudlala pha. uSkalk uhambe ke nabafana bakhe ndibona uba yayilifuthe lasenyuwela. Kukweli gama sikuthethwa ngalo apha nje kuthethwa nje igama kuthiwa ngulaqonye. Niyaliva kwa igama ngathi nabantu basewoma ulaqonye. They had a bad influence kuSkalk because ulaqonye was very rough. One time ulaqonye bebezadlala ne-team ezwide stadium, bafika laa team ayafika bebetreyina iveki yonke. Xa buye estadium bahamba ngenyawo ubetha umuntu apha endlini uba ifitness yakhe izawuthini yani. That's that kind of a character uSiseko akhule naye. But Spring Rose was a nursery. It still is a nursery. It hones his skills mentally and physically, and it gives it direction. And Spring Rose, when your physical being or your mental soul is down, it uplifts you because we are a collective. The flagship in rugby that established Ikwaru. Ikwaru became a symbol of hope to the hopeless when it comes to the liberation of this country. Singularly, with other great leaders. Skalk was joiner, low environment. He didn't disappoint us. He never disappointed us, Skalk. He showed his mettle. He was resolute to go to the Udala for no normal sport in an abnormal society. He never sold us out. Because some of us, when Dr. Craven made the clarion call, Skalk didn't do that. He didn't do that. He walked the walk with us until Savota in 1994. We brought him up as a Spring Rose, very proud. We brought him up. Having said that, I just want to salute Umama Skalk. I did the maths, but I loved the Latin during my time. There's a word by Latin, eliguqulwe izindlanga zonke kakhulu kakhulu. Mater, M-A-T-E-R. Eligama lithi mater means mother. Eligama lidlala indima enkulu ekuzalweni kaYesu. kude ngoku njengesithetha nje elaa gama lithi materi kube kwinkonzo ezithiywa ngelaa gama kuthiwa materi dei. Udei is God ngokwesiLatini, because ayingu-Virgin Mary, Mother of God. Mama, without being blasphemous, you still are our mother was Funus. You brought the Skalk here, you loved him, he loved you. Atamangeske, life's greatest treasure, money cannot measure, is the mother's love. Inseparable. Your umbilical cord may be cut off from a Skalk, but that connection is inseparable. Death, as we mourn with Skalk. Death, they say, is just a pause towards eternal life. But there's a problem with death. It strips you naked. It divides you from the people you love. It destroys your soul. It makes you to ask questions. Why me? Why me? What have I done? I go to church. I think the same question as Christians worldwide. There are more than 2 billion Christians. They're asking when they lose a child, why me? No, we are both now, mom. This one was so poor. But we cannot take your pain. We can just imagine how you feel. But we draw a solace in one thing, that there's not a single one of us here, not a single one. Some of us have lost our siblings. Some of us have lost our mothers and fathers. So Springles, as a club, that's got credibility. We honor this giant. He has done well for the club. He has proven his worth to us. When he ventured away from us at Pretoria, we never doubted his mentality and prudence, because we knew Siseko won't drop the ball. He won't drop the ball. We were pained and overwhelmed with emotions when we learned about Ishok Skalk. Bakhona abantu ngajongana lapho konke lokhu kumele kuyafalwa afe ngoNkulunkulu. Uthena ngafi man. Uthena ngafi. But Skalk is in that league where you say, no. Because we looked at him as a club, as one of the pillars. It's a club that will take over rugby. The momentum, the leadership, will take him straight to Saru, and then from thence, he'll rule the roost and become something to Saru. Politics as sport will ever be there. But we had high hopes with Skalk. It's a new passage in trials and tribulations produces perseverance. Perseverance produces character. Character produces hope. Amaroma lama. Sifunde nethemba, sikushiya nethemba linye Jesus Christ. Alikho elinye ithemba. You go to your neighbor, ulile xalabeni phambi neighbor yakho. Tomorrow uzothetha ngawe ulila pha kuye. But look at the cross. Bulela uThixo, ngenzala enhle, nasi isizukulwane sakho. Inkosi, siyabulela sisifundosi. Sifuna ukuthi ningadinana ngomso. Ngelishwa kuSkalk,
He never allowed the banana rugby. I look at the look forward as they're nice and tall, you know. Hey, you call them any move, people. You call them He never gave us that chance, but now as a home now, Skalk, Namulaki Mange, Namu General Major, Ubus again, now the coach, Yagastal, Nancy Buchan, the Yigi coffee is up by the Uka maintains and Segala, they got a Baba, we will tell you. We eat the good trade, or we get a good is in the saddest point of all. Very well, and go support.
All was Friday about the center, it's close and this leads. I think it's a sign from the woman Suya. That generation, if we get them back with Latin. Pamboban Suge, Saziswan, Soba, golfers, Alamton, do it 21 times salute. Ngalibali kakuphunyo uzawutijana phaphandle mayelana lamcimbi we-21 kansalute tabe ndingekho ngapha mna ndine-date nomr Ntshanga for ngomso kusasa kulaa fokolo yakho Mr. Ntshanga since udlala njengam. I think I have what the right side of the call France for the 21 cancer smash. So we again will Otrola Tando Nolikaya for Amazwi or Bulelo, but to get a bit of Bamfunis. Bambuele, 5 meters in the wood. Come if you give it. Sapule.
Mandibulise kwakhona kusibanga lonke ngelihlanga lenkosi yethu yesiKristu. Ezi zihlangu ezincediswe zikhulu kakhulu for izihlangu ezincedwa ngokujezisa kodwa ke uThixo unemimangaliso because uThixo always uye afumane ihlumelo efamily. So that is uThixo unayo plan all the time. Yes. So that is why today I had to be here in front of you and tata proof apho bhuti ayeke khona. Okwam apha kukubulela ndizawuqala ndibulele umfundisi noxa bemcimba ndizambulela xa senze intshumayelo kodwa ke mandibulele apha kumfundisi ukuthi asivulele iminyango yale cawa ukuze lo msebenzi omhle kangaka uqhubeke kakuhle. Siyabulela mfundisi kakhulu loo leyo. Ndibulele kakhulu kwi-organizers. I-organizers zale funeral, mainly busy friends zikaButseko. Since day one, they were there. Siyayibulela kakhulu loo nto leyo ibonisa ukuthi uButseko ebehlala nabantu. Ndiphinde ndibulele umntu wonke othe wasidina namhlanje because abantu baxakekile kodwa bazincamile izinto zabo beza bazosikhunga. Siyayibulela ke loo nto leyo, sithi nenze njalo nakubanye. uThixo mkhulu uThixo masimbulele sile family yakwaNtshanga ukuthi asinike ithuba lokubana siphile ubomi nobuseko. Siyayivuyela lolo leyo and siyambonga uThixo ngalonto leyo. Sifunde okuningi apha kubuseko. Siyayibulela lolo leyo. Angoba ndihlale phansi ndiyacinga uphuma kwethu apha sizawuphuma sijongise ngapha eNorth End apho sizambeka kwikhaya lakhe lokulinda. From there sizawuphuma ke sigoduke siyochoba unxano pha apha eKabheka apha kokwabo. Ndinibulele kakhulu enkosi.
Mrs. Mavis Lisa, Zanemvula, Zanzolo, and Zoleka. Rest in peace. You loved us for who we were and accepted who we were striving to become. Dads are strong for a reason. Their strength gives us a sense of protection. Now that you're in heaven, Dada, we know you will continue to protect us. Your pain is no more. We will continue loving you and will forever miss you. Lala Dada will too, till we meet again. Luce, Kondi, and AK. To Ntshang's family, may the love of Auntie. Ntshanga.
Ndikhaphela ezindleleni zokulungisa ngenxa yegama layo nokuba ndihamba mfulelwe ithunzi lokufa andikho inkathini ngokuba unam wena intonga yakho nomsilo wakho iyandithuthuzela undilungiselela itafile phambi kwabandezeli bam uyithambisile ngamafutha entloko yam indlebe yam iyaphalala inene ndiyakulandelwa bububele nenceba yonke imihla yobomi bam ihlale endlwini kaYehova imihla imide benza kumlembu naphakade Nkosi
Makakholeka amazwi omlomo wami nezicamango zenhliziyo yami phambi kwakho Yehova liwalami. Ndifihle ngokomsindisi wami kuwumnqamlezo oyingcwele. Submerge me, O Christ, behind your cross, and set a guard over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. Gracious God, I pray that your word will bring comfort, that your holy word will bring hope, that your ancient word, Almighty God, will bring encouragement in this, your family. Amen. We may be seated. I greet you all in the wonderful name of my Savior, my Holy Redeemer, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. A special greeting to the chief mourners and those that are near and dear to them. I was given a brief by program director and the family that my sermon must not be less than 3 hours. And then therefore, I don't want to disappoint them. Indeed, this is rather a difficult time. A time of despondency, a time wherein, as the family, you're asking unanswered questions. Sivile kuthethwa ngokuSiseko. Speaker here alluded to that. He was a pride and joy of the Ntshanga family. Speakers here, they've said he was indeed a true sportsman, a man of truth, a man of resolve, yes, indeed, a leader par excellence. Mine is just to have words of encouragement to this family and those that are dear to you, Mamu Ntshanga. May God gather you in his loving arms. Anithi wami ngentuthuzelo esuka kuye kuba kaloku ungumalusi olungileyo. May he hold you tightly against his chest and the warmth of his heart to soothe your pain at this time. Mhlawumbe ninawo namazwi okuthetha kodwa siphethe uYesu ophilisayo. God that will continue to restore you, God that will continue to heal you even in that which you are experiencing right now. Yes, our God continues to be our true and dependable shepherd. Even in time of despair, even in our time of loss, He's unchanging. Akaguguguguki owethu Thixo. Ninguye izolo, isenguye nanamhla. Uzaba nguye uThixo wethu nangomso. His infinity continues to sort us on by the power of the Holy Spirit. Ningakhalike mzali njengabantu abangikhathele. Babelelani kuye uYesu Kristu ongumsindisi. He comforts us in time of need. Yes, our God as our shepherd comforts us in times even of hopelessness. And He will continue to wipe your tears. Owethu malusi ongatshintshiyo. Yes, the circumstances that we face cause us to doubt Him. Kodwa, I'm here today to say, bambelela, ungamiyeki uThixo. Ukumkani uDavide xa ebhala lo mbongo ufundwa uzukisa uThixo njengomalusi okhathalayo, njengomalusi osindwayo ukubulaleka kwezimvu zakhe. So Psalm 23 perhaps is a psalm that is well recited, but today you need to take it close to your heart. Kuyehova umalusi wami angikuswela lutho. uDavide unika uzuko ubabaza ubukhulu nobungangamsha bukaThixo njengoThixo okhathalayo. Siva ke imbongi yamatshetshi xa isithi beka ithemba lakho kuye uthuthuzeleke. Mzi wasekhaya bekani ithemba lenu kumalusi olungileyo ongasoze anishiye nakanye. God is our dependable shepherd, and we shall not lack in Him. And we declare and decree that the comfort of God will be upon you. We declare and decree that peace of God will be upon you as the family. As I learned, our God, beloved, is a caring shepherd. He continues to guide our path. He's our only hope, even in times such as these. Lastly, we need to say this: hide us, O Christ, in your blood, so that we may find comfort. Hide us, O Christ, kumnqamlezo wakho khona ukuze imimoya nomoya esubhudlayo kwelihlabathi ungabi nakusenzakalisa. Ivanike 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7. It reads thus: cast all your cares upon him, for he cares for you. What I love about this passage is saying, cast all your cares unto him, not in part, but all your cares unto him, for he cares for you. Our God is able to do exceedingly of that which we ask. Phalaza mama, inhliziyo yakho uthini. Yes, he's able to wipe your tears. He's able to replenish you with strength and courage. That's our God. He's able to fill the void ozakuyifumana ngokumka komntwana wakho. Kodata wethu, that's our God that we serve. Sithembeke uThixo onjalo ngempilo zethu. Ekungake lamazwi angafumana indawo zokuhlala ezinhliziyweni zethu. Angahlali nje kuphela kodwa zise intuthuzelo. For we know that our God is the source of all comfort. May Siseko rest in peace and rise in glory. Amen.
Masithandaze. Masimyaleze umntana wethu, tata wethu, brother wethu Siseko kwinceba kaThixo umenzi nomhlaba wethu. Ngoba wasezulwini ngamandla akho amakhulu wasinika ubomi wazama uthando lwakho wasinika ubomi obutsha kuYesu Kristu. Siyamnikela uSiseko ekugcineni lwakho nenceba ekukhokelweni kuYesu Kristu unyana wakho inkosi yethu. Wafayo wabuya wavuka ukuze asindise. Ohlile lawula kunye nawe nomoya oyingcwele emnye uThixo ngoku nangonaphakade. Amen, amen, amen. Sithandazela usapho isihlobo nezalabanye. Thixo ngabantu bonke bawusozinceba nomnikwa yonke intutuzelo. Siyakuthanda baphathe ngokubelabelelayo ukuze bathi beliphosa phezu kwakho inqina labo baluve uluzelo uthando lwakho ngoYesu Kristu inkosi yethu. Amen, amen, amen. Siphe Nkosi ubulumko nobabalo ukuze silisebenzise ngendlela yiyo ixesha elisashiyekileyo kuthi apha emhlabeni. Sikhokhelele enguqukweni ngezono zethu, inkohlakalo esiyenzileyo nokulunga esingakwenzanga. Usomeleza silandele emkhondweni lonyana wakho ngendlela ekhokhelela kwinzaliseko yobomi obungunaphakade ngoYesu Kristu inkosi yethu. Amen. Wanga uThixo eluthandweni olungapheliyo nenceba yakhe angayizisipelike yonke abaphilayo nabangasekhoyo enkosini Yesu kolovuyo lovuko nenzaliseko yobukumthande bakhe baphakade. Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Lotsazayo uvuka many notices that sizakulandelela ngingcelele kuye emadlakeni kodwa ke sawucela i-all bearers zisondele abantu abaphathe ukuthi basondele nabefundisi siyabulela kakhulu
ngeqaso umsebenzi uThixo wayemsebenzise kuwo uyole khona. Shall we call upon the call bearers to come? Samkele ke ngoko insikelele. Icule sakuphuma ngayo. It's hymn 273. Hymn 273. Ikhaya lam wena Jerusalem. Masiphakamele samkele insikelele. Tikengwa kwa insikelelo kaThixo ise unyana nomoya oyingcwele ihlale kuni ilibabale ade abuye uYesu Kristu. Amen. 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 Amen.
Siyacwinga manje.